All right. Can you hear me?
We got you, Coach. Go ahead.
All right. I don't really have a whole lot for you today. The players have been off, so um, they'll be coming back in tomorrow, and I'll be able to talk to them about play times and all those things and how we're going to go about it. But for right now, I'm not going to address that today until I have a chance to talk to the team. Um, And as far as the injuries go, we're we're really looking halfway decent here in that area. Not a lot to report to you from the last game, so uh, we're everything's kind of status quo right now. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Adam.
Hey, Sid, welcome back, by the way. Andy, I've got a couple questions for you. First, what has your experience taught you about handling situations like this with the play time for this Denver game? You ever felt like you played the guys too much, didn't play them enough going into the playoffs? And Sid, I'll have a second question as well.
Yeah, yeah. When I first became a head coach, and first time I had a chance to get in the playoffs, um, I I've learned some things since then. I know that you've got to keep yourself relative with practices and make sure that you stay sharp, and um, you don't want to get too far away from it in the playoffs because, excuse me, everything gets a little bit faster in the playoffs every level that you go up. So you've got to make sure that and it's single elimination. You have to make sure your game's at the peak each time you play.
Okay, and also, seems like that 3 game and 11 day stretch was really tough on the players. What kind of toll do you feel like that took, and does that factor into your decision here as well?
Well, I mean, they were able to get some rest, which I thought was important. Yes, I mean that's not. I'm not recommending that you do that every year. So, but I don't think down the road, I think we'll be okay from it because of the rest that we gained here. So, and that we also have the bye coming up where, um, you know, there's a chance the guys get a day or two off. So.
Let's go next to Jesse.
Hey, Sid, I'll have a follow-up too. Hey, Andy, I just wondered, any update on DJ Humphries and his injury status?
You know what? He's doing good. Jesse, you know, I can't make you any promise. I want to get him out to practice and kind of see where we're at. So, but he is doing good in his rehab part. That's different than being on the field. So, I'd like to just see how he does there.
Great. And obviously, the last couple of weeks you've had Joe Tooney in there. You've complimented him on being in there. But in an ideal world, is it getting Tooney back to left guard and having a different left tackle, or are you content to have Joe, play this string out of left tackle?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it kind of by ear as we go here. I've been happy with Caliendo and how he's played. I've been happy with Joe and how he's played. I appreciate them jumping in and keeping the level of play up. So. And I'm curious to see, if where DJ's at and if he can do anything. So I mean, I just want to see where we're at, and I'll evaluate that as we go down the stretch here.
We'll go next to Matt Derrick.
Hey, Coach. Two questions, but the first one's kind of a housekeeping question with some of the longer term injuries. You've got the three receivers with, Rashid, McCole, and Sky, and then also Jalen Watson. Is there any chance of those four guys that you could get them back during the playoff run?
There's a chance with McCole and potentially Watson. I mean, potentially, that would be stretching it though, I think. But the other two, no.
And, obviously the Broncos are going to be playing for a playoff spot, but there's the potential that you've got three teams from the AFC West that would be in the playoffs. What have you just seen from the competition this year and the improvement in this division?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it's um, the level of this division is, I think, incredible. We've got really all four teams playing hard and aggressive football and good, solid football. I know the Raiders are not in. I get that, but I know the other two are as deserving as anybody to be in the playoffs. And it's good to see that. I think that this is all about competition. We're in it for the competition, and both Denver and the Chargers are, they're both really good football teams.
We'll go next to Pete. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, Coach, I'll have a quick follow-up too, Sid, if you don't mind. Yeah, I was just wondering, you guys clinched especially early, maybe even more so than previous years. Is it almost too early to prepare for what would be the, I guess, 6 to 7 possibilities? Will you have a coaches doing that, or is it right now just because of just how long it might be, just focusing on Denver?
Yeah, well, we're focused on Denver right now, and making sure we've got a good game plan together for them. There'll be a time when we look at the other group. We'll have time to do that, but right now we're preparing for Denver. So we'll hit all that other stuff later here, another date.
And you said you'd announce the playtime as we go. But regardless, just curious on Carson, what you've seen in the past year and your thoughts on him being a potential starter in this league, maybe in 25.
Yeah, listen, I'm one of his biggest fans, so I liked him coming out. I liked what he did before he was banged up there in Philly, and I liked what I saw last year from him for sure. So with his start with the Rams, so I like what I've seen here, which is, that I'm glad I've had the opportunity to see him here. Selfishly, I'd like to keep him, but I don't think that's going to be possible. He should be starting in the league somewhere. That's what he should be doing by his ability and the way he goes about his business. He's so structured and disciplined that his study habits, his work, all those things are just top notch. So, yeah.
Okay, we got two more. Let's go next to Todd.
Hey, Coach, I've got a couple quick ones. First, from Christmas, I couldn't quite tell. I wasn't at the game on the replay when Xavier got penalized for the celebration. It looked ambiguous to me what was going on the screen. Did you talk to him about that, or did you get an explanation on what the penalty was for there?
Yeah, I think that's out there, Todd. But I guess it's pulling your shirt up to show a weapon or something. I don't know, but I don't really know about all of that. I know they were like shoveling snow and doing that or whatever. So I don't know where the other part came in. I don't know that.
And
the officials,
you guys,
obviously, though, were coached up on that, so they didn't hesitate on it.
And you guys, generally speaking, when you've had these games in the past, you're choosing your playing time. Maybe the other team, it's not as important for them. What's the fact that the Broncos are playing for everything? Does that change anything that you guys do, or you just handle your business the way it's best for your squad?
No, we're gonna do what we have to do, or will do. I mean, and then, but most of all, we want to play well. That's what we want to do against a good football team.
Okay, and last to Nick. Go ahead, Nick.
And Sydney, I'll have a follow-up if I can, please. Andy, I just want to check on Pacheco and the rib injury. I know you may not have definitive clarity, but is this something that'll maybe be a couple weeks, or he'll be available playoff-wise, hopefully?
Yeah, he'll be available playoff-wise. Yeah, he is tender. I probably should have mentioned that, but he is tender. And we'll just, I'll probably hold him back here this week in practice just a bit. So he can be fresh and ready to go. Yeah.
And then I know you're focused on Denver, but kind of looking ahead to the playoffs, what benefit is it that you guys will have more than likely played every other AFC playoff opponent throughout the season and have kind of a feel for them?
Yeah. Well, as you know, Nick, that goes both ways, right? So they'll be familiar with us too. So it does. But you get to this level, it's single elimination. There's so much parity going on, and you've got to, you got to play your best football. I mean, that's really the deal, and it doesn't matter which one of the teams. I mean, they're all good, and you've got to make sure you play well. So that'll be our main focus on playing well and making sure we're sharp, and then we'll dig in here on these different scenarios that go on. You guys are probably more familiar with those right now than I am, but it's we'll dig in on whoever. It's not just one team. You've got a group of teams you're going to have to look at and study. But for right now, Denver's got our attention, and so that's kind of where we're at right this minute.
Thanks, Coach. That's all we got for you.